So let me know if it is recording.
Yeah, it is showing recording
recording.
on the Vasant's
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, it's recording. Go ahead, Prashant.
Yeah, it is showing.
Okay, cool, super. So okay, so technical issues. So okay. So again, good evening. Thank you so much for taking the time today. I can see some folks not sounding. Madhvi madam, some of you feel better. I saw you coughing.
Okay.
Hope it's not a, yeah. So the purpose of the meeting is to basically ready us for the launch phase. I think we are still shooting for like a December, January end of this whole 2018 class. And I think, I mean, we are generally concerned that if we don't move now in an accelerated space, students will have a chance of disengaging and then almost all of forgetting what we had covered earlier. So in this phase, right, I mean, I think the model that we are trying to use is, hey, we first talk with you guys, get you guys bootstrapped, and then you carry the message to the students. I think the model fundamentally would need that, given to understand this phase requires very close interactions with quote-unquote product owner roles. So what the idea is, we bootstrap the faculty. The faculty has more local interactions. We will have slightly distanced interactions, but I think we will be involved on a weekly basis to track the progress. But I think essentially we're going to manage through the faculty acting in a product owner role for the remaining part of the OB incubator class of 2018. It was kind of known early from the beginning, but I think now it's a time to get into that mode. But before I go into the deck, just a pulse check. Did you guys get a chance to go through the videos by any chance?
Yes, we have seen the videos.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, did you guys find it easy, or was the concepts something that you guys already are teaching or exposed to?
Basic scrums and agile we are teaching, but that scaled agile, that I have seen first time.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, scaled, yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, scaled agile is pretty much used in most of the big organizations. And I think the reason for us to point you guys towards the scaled agile was to make sure that, hey, we don't invest a lot of time creating content which is already created in scaled agile. So basically, I don't expect that overnight students will have certain roles, right? The associates will have certain roles in the launch phase. Now they have to have a resource to go back and see how those roles behave, right? And this is the first time I think they will be quote unquote operating in a non-student mode, in an associate mode, where they have a role to play and accountability to play. So I think that's important. I mean, JSPM side, I mean, any feedback on the videos?
The videos are quite good, sir, and they clear the concept about the agile process, and it is easy to understand.
Okay, so the reason for those videos where we will eventually start talking, we'll need to start framing the conversations in the launch phase for the rest of the phase with you guys, and then talk to you in that manner, right? So that is the reason. So I think before we go on to that part of the conversation, I think what we want to do is we want to explain how we have organized the organic boards design labs, right? And I think the class of 2018 may end over here, so December, January timeframe, but then I think fundamentally the ideas in the design labs are living. So basically, let's assume that we refresh for class of 2019, or we have an extension of the incubator class of 2018. the ideas will still keep on working. I mean, so that those are somewhat long-running ideas as such. At this point of time, we are deliberately picking up the ideas from the OB design labs, and at some stage when assume a ideal state where enough iterations of incubators have happened year over year, then ideally the students would have an opportunity and maturity to say like, hey, look, this is the idea that I want to pursue through the design labs, and then we can work over there. I think you want to understand this is our first iteration. You want to understand this is our first year. It will take some time before we reach the true maturity for students bringing in an idea and then pursuing as a company idea, right? And if there is an opportunity to do so, we can always pivot towards that. But at the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to play with 3 ideas. And those 3 ideas are part of the OB Design Lab's intellectual property, and then we'll gradually develop them. And somewhere in between, as the maturity matures up, we will have to figure out how do we pursue an associate-driven idea as such. But I think for every idea that the design labs have, there is a level of maturity of some sort of a business value, potentially commercial value as a way to validate that if the idea is good or bad. So again, without further ado, the OB Design Labs construct. So how is the OB Design Labs organized, right? So I think the OB Design Labs has, many idea themes, right? So basically, it has many idea themes, and we'll explain through an example what an idea theme looks like. So within an idea theme, the idea theme has one or many product lines, and a product line has one or many products, right? And the whole construct of startup economy or the startup idea is startups are high risk enterprises. You start with one product line, one product, and you go forward up till a certain point, and then market intelligence based on the product validations that you would do, you would change the product, you would pivot the product, you may even shut down the product and go to another product. So that's the nature of the incubator. That's the nature of incubator. So they are meant to do that way. So I think it is very important going in first to set the right expectations with you guys as well as the students that, hey, you may be pursuing a certain idea, and if the idea does not have any potential, and the potential or no potential would be validated through various experimentations on product. So you want to build a product that people want. It's not that you want to build a product that you like to work from an engineering perspective that nobody wants. I think that will be an important part. But overall, any question on how we have organized the design labs, and we'll go through the examples and it will be more clear. Okay, so if no questions on this slide, I'll move on. So the focus for the company formation incubator for class of 2018 would be largely on this idea theme, and we have another product. So we have 3. We kind of have 2 product lines over here, okay, and 1 idea theme. There is also 1 idea that is not following in this theme that we will be pursuing, right? So so the idea theme over here is accelerators for rapid digitization of enterprise. And the notion of enterprise could be a government agency, university, profit or non-profit agencies as such. Accelerators, what accelerators are, and we'll go into that. But fundamentally, this idea theme, the 2 of the 3 ideas that we will be pursuing would be for rapid, they are accelerators. They are not final products, but they are like, what would be a good example? They are like, I don't know. I have heard in India, they have this whole construct of, pre-cut vegetables along with the spices already done. So they don't actually give you the meal. They cater to a housing wife kind of a market where the pre-cut meals and the spices are ready, and it removes the pain of bringing a meal to the table for a working woman. So now they get to eat fresh, but the acceleration of the evening meal process is happening. So it's the same kind of thing. Accelerators in itself themselves are not finished products. The accelerators in itself are semi-finished products. You put in the remaining gaps, and then it becomes a final product. But how you fill in those gaps is really customized by the context of the where the accelerator will be used, and that becomes a final product. Perhaps a bad analogy, but hopefully we convey the thing. So within the accelerators, we kind of have two product lines. One is the robotic automation, robotic process automation. We covered UiPath over there, right? So RPA. Okay, so we taught UiPath, or we introduced UiPath. So the construct over here is, hey, we will have a UiPath accelerator as a product, and then I think this level product would be expressed in the form of an epic. And then we'll go through. We'll not go deeply through the epics. We'll let you guys read those epics. But the epics would be written up till it's from here, right? You will have product ideas that we are pursuing. If you see track the mouse, this is where we will launch the products from. So now we show that, hey, if this idea works, the UiPath accelerator works, and if we find there is marketplace for it, hey, perhaps we may go to Automation Anywhere, which is another RPA tool, and they have their own marketplace. So we may write accelerators for over here. But the goal is not to do this. So this is like, if I create an accelerator for Maharashtrian style food, pre-cut food, then replicating that idea for Gujarati food is not a big deal. Now you try to do that idea in Pune, maybe it may not have a market, but if you try to do that for a same idea, let's say in Gujarat, maybe you will have a market for it. But then you are not fundamentally innovating after you have done this innovation. You are replicating that innovation in another marketplace to go into that marketplace. So I think we will not pursue the Automation Anywhere accelerators. We are pursuing UiPath accelerators. So that's one epic. The other product line is the virtual agents product line, which is and the current only implementation opportunity over there is Google Dialogflow based VM. So that's the focus for the class of 2018. There is one more idea which we don't know what theme it falls, and Neeraj would go that at the right point in the session number 2, whenever you guys decide whether it's 16th or 17th. I forgot if we closed on that topic. But in the second session, we'll go over each of these epics. We will answer questions on each of these epics after you have had time to read those. So any questions on this slide?
So this for UiPath, there will be 2 different teams working, or only one team will be working?
I don't know. I mean, I think the product idea is one. We can always take the product idea and build 2 teams out of it. I think the whole idea is, even if we break a big team into 2 teams, those are sub teams working on the same product idea, right? So I think currently we are about 21 folks in the whole incubator between JSPM and AISSM. And my conversation before Srikanth left for London was, we are looking at forming potentially teams around 3 products. Okay. And if there are two teams that make up a product, then that's fine, right? That's fine. But honestly speaking, I don't have a point of view just at this point of time. I think we will have to be a little, I would say, for a lack of a better word, we'll have to have, instead of, at some point when you venture out into a business kind of a setting, I think we will have to pivot towards a little bit of a commercial mindset, where we have to pick the right kind of students in the right kind of roles. And create balanced team, right? Otherwise, it would be a tricky thing that the teams will not make progress. And as you guys would be the local product owners over there, and we would be quote unquote product managers or product owners from a distance, or product sponsors from a distance. There is no such role called product sponsor per se. I think product manager is probably the role. But I think we'll have to figure that piece out as you guys sink in this information, right?
Oh.
Amruta madam, Santosh sir, any feedback?
Okay.
Yes, no problem.
Okay, cool. Vasant or Neeraj, you want to add anything?
No,
Okay.
I think I'm good.
Okay, cool. So now what is this idea theme, meaning accelerators for rapid digitization? I think you guys get this, but I think this is for students. Okay. So when you guys have settled on this constructs and this presentation, and when you guys take these presentations to the student teams, I think they may need this slide, but I think you guys get it. What is the accelerator for rapid? So this is just to explain, right? The accelerators are a collection of software solutions. I mean, I gave the somewhat of a lame analogy of pre-packaged Indian food for, but then I think it kind of conveys, right? So accelerators are equivalent to that but within the software, but they are like a collection of software solutions built on a particular technology platform for a particular business problem domain. I think that's what the accelerators are. And sometimes they are referred as boilerplate or prefabricated solution for a given domain. The core purpose of an accelerator is to speed the software solutions delivery and time to market, right? So suppose if I am a small polyclinic and I'm trying to build a interactive 1-800 number that people can call and ask for an appointment or ask for, hey, what were the test results, given some unique idea of their interaction with that polyclinic, right? Because the polyclinic is small, they probably they can probably afford unskilled staff, but the skilled staff is hard to find. So what they have done is taken the knowledge and put it into the virtual agent. So instead of hiring 20 low-skilled people and having to deal with the management overhead of training and handling, frequently quitting staff, they build that virtual agent. So they want to build that virtual agent. Now, if they are going to build everything from ground up, it might be a 6 months to 1 year project, or maybe 1 year to 3 year project. But if they use an accelerator, maybe they will get it done in 3 months, and the accelerator may be installed in the cloud, so it may not have any cost structures for them. So then it becomes like a television channel dish kind of a subscription-based model. They use the virtual agent. We get the virtual agent trained for their context, and then basically they are paying some subscription fee on a monthly basis. So that might be the market. So that's an example as such, right? Again, a little bit more example of an accelerator, like Wix, so that people can. So Wix is a website building a solution on the internet. So this is like Wix, right? And what they are, the whole domain is web media, and the problem statement over there is, how do you build rapidly very flashy looking websites, right? I mean, people want to build very good looking websites, right? But then they don't have time and money to build very good looking websites. So this is this company. And at the end of the day, they're an accelerator. Their domain is web media. Their problem is rapid delivery of websites. And what they do is they kind of look at this, right? So they have kind of made it like a very easy thing, right? And they have created a marketplace. Pick up the website template you love, right? This is no different than, hey, what do you want to cook tonight, right? Do you want to cook a leafy vegetable, or do you want to cook some pulses, kind of a thing? And then you kind of choose from here, right? And then here are various kinds of things. This is what I was trying to go to, right? Here are the various templates that they have, right? They have business templates, online store, photography, so on and so forth. So basically the solution is Wix templates. The templates themselves are the accelerators, right? So the whole pain of building a good looking website is taken over by these templates, and they act as an accelerator, and you simply pay a subscription model, right? So now this just is as an example of a Wix as an accelerator business. It's an Israeli company. We have WordPress is the same kind of thing. During the quarter, I mean, it kind of had a total of 97 million kind of registered users, and out of that 97 million users, I mean, they don't need all 97 million to be paying. Only 171,000 were paid subscribers, and that's the business model. It's built on a freemium business model, and a freemium business model is basically they give things for free, but then in the end, their earnings and revenues they make through premium upgrades. The user must purchase some premium packages. So most of our software accelerators will have this kind of a construct in them. I do not know if the student associates have reached that maturity level to understand the freemium business model and all that, but that's the reason you over there in a localized context with much more senior and superior maturity as a product owner would be able to connect these ideas. And again, this is just how big the opportunity is for Wix, right? I mean, it's just amazing. So I won't spend time over here. So the other example, so for the accelerator is a Chrome web store, right? So this is all inspiring people about the product, right? So this is the Chrome web store. Again, same construct over here, right? UI, so we kind of introduced that, and now you're saying, hey, UiPath has a bot store. That's their marketplace for reusable scripts, right? So I think this is where that's where I'm saying, like, the UiPath as a platform itself is now kind of automation anywhere. So this is their bot store. So now people come over here and they figure out, hey, these are the solutions, right? And then they download these bots and they customize them. And that's what it is. Okay, so this is the product line. Okay, we kind of gave them that example, and this is like why this product line? Why Design Labs is going after this product line? It's one of the fastest growing market segment. So basically, it's like only $250 million in 2016, expected to grow to 2.9 billion by 2020, right? So there is a massive opportunity over here if we get this right, or even semi-right. You know, maybe we have a this thing, and we kind of said, hey, that's why I said, like, we are going to only pursue this as a UI product, right? Right. So that's what the whole journey of how it is organized, and we took you to the product. And once you go into the product epic, right? So each product epic is established in a epic hypothesis statement. Okay, and the epic hypothesis statement is what we will issue. So I think what we will give you is 3 epic hypothesis statements at the end of the session. So look through it. Okay, watch those read those epic statements. And in session, the next session, October 16th, 17th, or 19th, we had given 19th, I think. But if that doesn't work, we'll have to figure out the schedule. But next time when we meet, go through this epic hypothesis statement. The epic hypothesis statement looks in this format. Whether the idea is on the virtual agents product or RPA accelerator as a product, or whatever Neeraj has created, right? So those ideas would be expressed as hypothesis statements, as epics. Now, if you looked at the videos, an epic is the highest level of requirement. And I'll show you an epic that Vasant wrote and I wrote, and let me see. Give me 1 second. We will not go through it, but we'll let the idea sink a little bit. Give me 1 second. Okay. 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 Is this making sense? I mean, is this exciting, or do you think that students will get this?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so where is my stuff? Okay. So basically, so this is one epic. Okay. So the epic title is UiPath reusable components, right? Which is nothing but we are calling it a organic bot jumpstart kit for UiPath. This is the jumpstart kit is nothing but is the accelerator. So basically we have written for who is, so we have filled in this, right? And this follows the construct that typically most Silicon Valley companies use nowadays. So basically, so innovation accounting. Again, if you guys are interested, so basically, so to read how to, so basically to understand how we have written the epic, excuse me, you will you'll get an idea of why we are doing it this way, right? So Shrikant had conducted a lean startup session by Eric Rice. So basically, he's the man behind some of the thought leadership. So basically, this is how we have written the epics with all these things in mind. And now this is an epic hypothesis statement. So if you want to understand how the hypothesis statement works, then hey, you can read this particular article at your leisure if you care. Okay, so now, so this is one hypothesis statement. I'll show you the other one from Neeraj. Give me one sec. Neeraj. Hey, Neeraj, do you have your stuff handy?
Just a second, let me see.
Or Vasant, you have yours? I think. Give me one sec. I think I had it in my Gmail. Did you share it by Gmail, Vasant?
Yeah, actually yesterday night he shared, I think.
Yeah, one sec.
You can see it in your Google Drive under shared documents.
That's what I could not find it.
Okay.
One sec. It's in what? It's in Google Drive. Oh, in Drive.
Right.
Okay, I got it. That's what I thought. Like I would see it. Okay. Shared with me. Yeah. So this is the epic that Vasant has written for the other product, which is the virtual agents. Okay. Again, the same format. Organic bots virtual agent for who the, so basically this will help you understand what we are doing, how we are doing, for whom we are doing, and what is our solution and what is our business hypothesis, right? All right. And as we progress and as some of these leading indicators come, right? I think the trick over there is in the lean startup guidance that we had was, we don't waste too much time building a product that nobody wants. We try to build just enough of product and find out leading indicators by creating a way to just the same thing, right? People doing movies off lately, right? They release a trailer on YouTube, and from the YouTube they collect massive amounts of indicators, and then the indicators decide, hey, what would be the right price to sell that movie to the distributors, and how long to keep the movie, and how much money to spend on additional marketing. And if they get poor response in the trial or the preview of their movies, they immediately cut the cord. I mean, they move on, right? And they move on to the other idea. They don't spend more money on it. So the same thing, right? So this last three sections, right? I mean, this is really the business idea. What's your hypothesis of the business model? And how will you know that you're on the right path or not? These two sections are very important, right? So I think, let me pause over here and see if there are any questions on the structure and the whole epic thing. and then I'll pivot to the other part of the meeting. Okay.
One
so
question.
now, go ahead. Yeah.
Suppose if I have prepared this epic and I have identified the leading indicators and all, and after assessing that again, do you modify that epic or all that time?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I think the epic can have its own iterations, right? The epic can have an own iteration to figure out sometimes what happens, the business hypothesis itself is weak or incorrect.
Okay.
Right? That's a possibility, right? So I think we have taken a lot of time to think through these 3 product ideas and express them as epics, right? So there is a possibility that we may modify certain aspects of business outcome hypothesis or some leading indicators. There is a possibility over there, and we can always change that. But then at some point, I think we will have to figure out that, hey, it's hard to tell me at this stage, right? I mean, if you have gone through the lean startup exercise, right? Very frequently, people don't even create the products. They create a concept. They create a concept, and they build a concept or a proof of concept, and they take the proof of concept to the market, and they present it in the market in a very interesting way, where they position the proof of concept in the right marketplace, and then create enough hooks for the potential customers to react to it. And if they don't react, right, then hey, even if that's your early signal. A good example using the pre-cooked or the pre-cut vegetables and the meals construct, right? I would be smart that if I know that I can create a website within 2 days using online tools, then I would simply create a website and create the concepts. I'll take pictures of the food that will be available in the menu, right? Then I'll create a value proposition video, right? Saying like, hey, this is what we are going to do, and I can simply say, hey, enroll into our a pre-cooked meal food service. We have our distribution centers, let's say in 4 localities in Pune, and we ask them to enroll for an early being an early subscriber to that. So if I do that job and do reasonably good marketing and nobody registers it, one of 2 things are right? The marketing campaign has reached the right people, but your product did not have any
potential.
A potential, so nobody really signed up, right? But then if people overwhelmingly signs for it, meaning you get a response, you expected like a million people who would subscribe, but suddenly you have 5 million people subscribing it. So now 5 million people showed interest, but they may not be convertible into paid customers, right? So they just showed interest. So they said, yeah, sounds interesting. So they are good pool, but they may not be signed once you're signing. But if 5 million sign up, and even if you say, hey, 10% of 5 million sign up, hey, you may have a business model. Or you may launch in a manner which is different than had you had 10 million users. You see what I'm saying? The amount of investment you will do into that idea would be different, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So let me pivot. Go ahead.
One way to think is like epic is a directional statement. So really, you're not directionally. You identified what is the potential area, and then under epic you have features. That's where you can decide in what direction, in what parts of it that you will cash on, or what you will build.
Yeah. So basically, hey, is there a quick place where they show the hierarchy, epic and all that, requirements hierarchy? Give me 1 second. So basic idea over here, the Epic product solution management, model-based engineering story. So basically, the construct is that
if you just like scale agile framework / Epic.
Yeah, I have. We have that.
Yeah, / Epic or / feature, you will get that information.
So okay. Yeah. So basically what we are trying to do over here is, so Epic is the highest level of requirement, right? But then the Epic gets broken into, basically Epic has a statement and all that, right? But then the Epic second level of, so once you take the Epic, we have to break the Epic into features and capabilities. Yeah. And the features and capabilities then further get broken down into stories. Right? So this is Epic, right? The Epic is then broken into features, right? And then the features get broken further into stories which are implemented by the team, right? Yeah. So now what we are trying to say is that we will give the epics, we will write the epics, we will also write the features. Right? So basically at Epic, all you understand is you get a rough idea of the domain, you get a rough idea of the business model, you get a rough idea of the products. But as you start writing the features, right, the product starts to emerge. Right? So if I just say, hey, let's do a pre-cooked meals subscription idea. Oh, okay. But how will it work? Oh, then you start saying, okay, it will have this feature. Oh, it will have a feature of ordering the food, pre-cut vegetables and all the spices on a daily basis or on a monthly basis through their website. So now you made that as a feature. So now suddenly now I need to build a website. Now there is a website. So for that feature, what are the stories, right? So what we will do is we will take the role of, I mean, again, there is a role of a product manager. The product manager role is kind of outwardly facing. It's facing the market, and what we would do is we'll face the market and then create epics and break it into features.
Yes. Okay.
But then the product owner, I think the faculty will play the role. We are requesting the faculty play the role of a product owner. The role of a product owner is facing inwards to the team's execution, right? Teams executing it. So basically, the product manager is kind of doing the job outward, looking in the market. Then the product manager talks to the product owner. Now the product owner is the chief operating officer of the company. He or she is like a multiple roles, right? Chief operating officer, chief execution officer, chief design officer. So they break the features into stories and then they manage the company's work, right? So the roles that we are trying to establish are, hey, we will do the product management from here, take charge of epics and features.
Okay.
You guys would be again part of the product management, but will act as a product owners, and product owners take a feature, break it into stories. And then the product owner and the product managers will have product management meetings probably once or twice in a week, with or without the factory or the company teams. But the company teams would have a role called Scrum Master, would have a role for a system architect or a lead engineer, and then everybody else will be either a developer or an analyst. The reason I say developer and analyst is an analyst will cover roles like taking the requirements, doing data mapping analysis, so on and so forth. So there is a business analyst portion of it. Once the developer develops those stories, then basically again there is a quality analyst, somebody doing the testing. So we are keeping it simple, even though it's big, right? Wherein we are trying to manage this whole company team with a product manager from US, product owner in India, system architect or lead engineer, developers and analysts. and a Scrum Master. So student, we'll have to develop the Scrum Master role. We'll have to develop the system architect role, and we'll have to develop the cadence, right? So all that guidance is the chief operating officer's accountability, which is nothing but the product owner who is very closest in India. And that's the reason why we are having these meetings with you guys first. So you guys understand it and you can take the conversation. If you had directly presented this whole deck to students, they would be all over the place. And you guys interact with them locally than us. So you precisely know, okay, who is the best person to be a Scrum Master. The Scrum Master has behavioral temperament, right? To conduct the regular, like the Scrum Master has to conduct regular meetings, daily meetings, 15-minute meeting. What did you do yesterday? What were your challenges? So let me pause over here. I mean, Santosh sir, Amruta sir, I'm not getting any feedback from your side. I just want to make sure, are we going at a right pace, and are there any questions from your side?
No, sir.
We are getting
everything. No problem. Yeah.
Okay. So that's all I had to cover, unless Vasant I kind of missed. I think one of the things that Vasant was looking at is, how do we organize the work, right? So basically he was looking at a tool. And Vasant, if you want to take the time now. I wasn't sharing the screen. No, it's still sharing, right?
Yeah, sharing.
Yeah.
Sharing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Vasant, do you want to cover a little bit of the tool topic, if that is final, the Trello cards and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I think I don't want to overload in a day, but basically.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Like conceptually, what we are going to do is we are going to have some tools where we can visualize the whole breakdown of Epic into features, into stories. And it's the whole point of Agile is to not get trapped by the documentation. So the word Agile, as it says, so you need to basically, if we put out features and then you make into stories, the whole point is to validate that what has been put down as ideas are actually workable, or you need to tweak them. So unlike in the previous things, everything had to be planned perfectly, and then you strictly follow the plan, no changes allowed. So this takes a different approach. So I just want to be, all of us to be aware, to be agile, to be truly agile in terms of, hey, let me try this way. There is a plan, but if the reality differs from our plan, then we make the necessary adjustments and move.
Yeah.
That's the point. Yeah. So we'll share the additional details of the drill down features and how to visualize them, maybe on the next call.
Okay. So I think from an action item perspective, I think what we will do is we'll share the deck. We'll share the 3 epics. Okay. And you guys, from your action item perspective, you guys give us back the date for the next session. We would prefer it to be a Friday. I mean, Friday, we just like you guys have your day jobs. We have our day jobs. Our day jobs will start in a bit, right? Yeah. So, so if you can make Friday, same time, that would work best. Like, I mean, I'm also traveling, so I just got back from New Jersey. Shrikant is in London and India, and Vasant just got back. So if you give us the date for the next session, so that is one action item. The second action item is in the next session, if you settle on these constructs, read through the epics, and then you show up in those sessions either with the students or without the students. If you see the epics, read the material, and you feel like, oh, this looks great, and you guys go ahead and then share the summary or brief the sessions and help the student understand how we move, right? And then the third part is okay, we are going to have 3 product ideas. How do you guys want to split up the teams? So if you come out with a team and say, hey, these are the teams and these are the roles, then that would be another thing that we could discuss in the next meeting. So we will give you the material that we shared today. We will give you guys give us the date when to have the second session, and in the second session, you guys tell us what questions you have. You can bring the student associates with you or without you, as well as the fourth thing is you guys give us the teams, the team breakups by roles, and we are playing with only 4 roles. Product manager, product owner, scrum master, systems engineer or architect, developer, 5 roles. A developer and analyst. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So anything else, Vasant, Neeraj, that we need to cover?
So preferable it's Friday morning or evening?
I mean, morning would be the best time. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I mean, our morning, so your same time as today, next Friday.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, your India time 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's 6:30. That's 6:30 US AM, 6:30 AM US. So always, let's talk always from India time perspective. Indian Standard Time, we will adjust it in our head. Okay. So if Friday 4 p.m. IST is there, let us know. Otherwise, we'll be staying flexible. I understand people have other things.
It is the Indian time in the morning.
Sorry.
Hello.
What did you? Yeah. What was the question?
If it is the Indian morning time, is it compatible?
Yeah, I mean, India morning time puts, we will make it happen. India morning, yeah, but then it has to be like India morning time. It has to be, I mean, like how quickly can we do it? Like at 10 o'clock is what?
The 10
like
o'clock
8 o'clock?
12:30.
No, 8 a.m. India is 10:30 p.m. US time.
Yeah, guys. Like last time we were doing it at 8 o'clock a.m. Indian Standard Time, right? So is 8 a.m. and ideally 7:30 a.m. works best for us, ideally, because that is 10 o'clock US night time.
Okay, night time.
Ideally 10 o'clock. Yeah. Because in one way or other, we are going to work from our home offices, whether it's evening or in the morning for us, right? So if it is 7:30 your time, that will work for us. And honestly speaking, if it is a faculty-only session, then you guys can attend the session from your laptops, wherever, as long as you have a microphone and a camera. I think you guys can log in from anywhere. You can even log in from your mobile phone, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Right. The only issue is if you log in from your mobile phone, you can't see the screen share very well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will stay flexible. If you want morning, then let's try to keep it between 7:30 and 8, if that works. Evening, then and again Friday. Yeah. Think about it. Give us an options, and we'll coordinate over WhatsApp.
I will talk with Santosh sir, and then we'll come to some common suitable date.
Yeah, but for us, we generally prefer Friday 4 p.m. your time.
Yeah.
I mean, deliberately pick 4 p.m. because it's neither too late nor too early. And for us also it works out well. But if it is other days, then it becomes a little tricky with day-to-day activities. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So if there are no questions or comments, we'll stop over here. We'll share the links of the presentation and the epics, and then we'll take it from there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Santosh, do you have a question? Hello, Santosh, do you have a question?
I think it's frozen.
Okay, okay. Okay, so he's on mute actually. Okay, now, yeah. Yeah, Santosh, sir, you are on mute.
Hello?
Yeah, you are on mute. Yeah. Go ahead.
We
So,
said
do you
that,
have a question?
we have that in the Indian morning, 8 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, are you asking or you're telling? Yeah, 8 a.m. Yeah, can it be 7:30? Can it be 7:30 a.m.?
7:30 morning. Okay.
Sir, we will discuss and then decide. This Friday, I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm traveling.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Then
Okay.
Or
So why
otherwise,
don't you discuss and
we will discuss.
is a better timing. No
No
problem.
need to change.
no, we understand. Yeah, I mean, we have to be flexible here. So we get that. I hope you guys are also being flexible. So we get that. Yeah, let us know. Okay. We can coordinate the timing over the
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
we'll,
Bye.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thanks, Rodi. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Disconnected.